Hello everyone, Chris here, Point for United People's TV, with another weekly injury watch for you. I mean, loan watch, sorry. But in all seriousness, I mean, it looks like the injuries are stacking up for our loan players. We have Varela, who's still injured at Eintracht Frankfurt. He's out for a couple of months still with that knee injury he suffered earlier in the season. We have Adnan Januzaj, who, with the ankle ligament damage he suffered with Sunderland, is still a few weeks away from returning to full fitness. And now we have news that James Wilson has suffered probably the worst injury of the lot. He's returned from Derby County to Manchester United, and he requires knee surgery on anterior cruciate ligament damage, and that's pretty serious. I mean, I think that's the same injury that Brazilian Ronaldo had a couple of times, and it really, took all the pace out of that man as a striker. So I hope it's not the same for James Wilson when he returns, but it looks like he may be out for the whole season. And I think because he's young, because he's 20, he will recover. From what I've seen of James Wilson over the years, pace has been a huge part of his game. And, if it's the same injury that Brazilian Ronaldo had, his pace may go. And I hope that's not the case. I hope he makes a full recovery. So all I can say is get well soon, James. Let's move on to the players who are actually fit. There are only two of them. One is Cameron Borthwick-Jackson at Wolves. And it's a bit of an interesting situation, this, because Wolves had a terrible week last week. They played two games, one against Brighton, one against Leeds United, and they lost both 1-0. But Cameron Borthwick-Jackson is nowhere to be seen. He's not in the starting lineup. He wasn't in the starting lineup for either game. He wasn't on the subs bench for either game. And I've heard reports in the last day or two that Jose is actually looking at recalling him back to Manchester United. Now, whether he's looking to recall him so he may actually, play instead of Marcus Rojo, fingers crossed, I actually hope that really happens. But there's another side to that story is that he may be recalled because Premier League teams, a couple of Premier League teams are interested in taking him out on loan as well. So Jose's looked at the situation, and when they agreed to loan Borthwick-Jackson to Wolves, it was under the impression that he would play pretty much every game, and it's not happened. And Jose is looking at this and he's not happy. So who knows? Next week Borthwick-Jackson may be recalled. Leave your comments below and let me know your thoughts on that. Personally, I'd be delighted because I really rate the player. I rate the lad highly, and I think he's miles better than Rojo. So let's see what happens there. Now let's move on to Andres Pereira at Granada. Now, after that 7-1 mauling that they suffered at the hands of Atletico Madrid, the following game was against Sporting Gijon, and they drew it 0-0, so they got some points on the board. And Pereira in that match, he played more centrally. They put him in a more central attacking midfield position, so he could dictate play more. And it resulted in them keeping hold of the ball for longer, and they actually created a few really gilt-edged chances that they couldn't take, but at least it's a point. It's better than a 7-1 defeat. And while it still leaves Granada bottom of the league, at least it's a small step in the right direction. So keep going, Pereira, and keep going, Granada. That's all for Loan Watch this week. I'm sorry I haven't got much to report other than the injuries. But leave your comments in below. Subscribe to United People's TV, and take care, everyone. See you later.